What's up, you guys? We are back with another episode of what I'm starting to think we should call sloppy keto, because honestly, that's pretty much the embodiment of all of my keto-based videos. Regardless, today I wanted to go ahead and do something that I think will help out a lot of people that are new to keto or have a little bit of a sweet tooth. See, I've been noticing on a lot of channels out there, people have been making all of these great sweet keto recipes like cheesecakes and muffins and cookies and all that kind of stuff. And if I'm gonna be completely real with you, I don't got time for that. And I think that many of us don't have time for that either. So I wanted to go ahead and show you guys some options that you guys can actually just go ahead and pick up, whether you order it from the internet or go to your grocery store and just grab them there yourself. So that way you can have a couple sweet treats just ready on hand without any preparation needed. Alright, so the very first thing that I wanted to go ahead and suggest is actually an old favorite, and I didn't really think about it until I went ahead and popped back into the grocery store. But I realized that sugar-free JellO is actually kind of amazing for keto. See, a lot of the keto treats that are out there right now are very chocolatey or very caramelly. They like have a lot of that artificial flavoring in there, and don't get me wrong, I love me some artificial flavoring, but we don't get too many kind of like fruit flavors. And I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be the perfect kit for that. And trust me, I tried out a couple different ones. My old favorite is always orange, so I went ahead and grabbed that, and it's damn good. Same thing for lemon lime. There's another flavor out there that is strawberry kiwi, I believe. Didn't pick that one up because I figured I'd be on a little bit of a JellO overload, and I was like, not trying to do that to myself. But these ones I can definitely vouch for. So 0 carbs, 10 calories per. The other one that I wanted to go ahead and introduce as well is there are the JellO sugar-free puddings. Now, here's the kind of caveat about these. These are each 10 carbs a piece with 4 grams of sugar alcohols. Now, the sugar alcohol that they use in here is sucralose, and as far as I'm aware, sucralose is one of the sugar alcohols you can completely subtract, so that puts it at 6 grams of carbs. A little bit high for me, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I like to keep like all of my treats or all of my servings like at 4 grams of carbs. That's where I feel comfortable. But if you do feel like splurging, they do have the chocolate swirl flavor, and they also have the I believe it's the dulce de leche flavor. They're both same kind of setup when it comes to carbs, and I believe they are 60 calories a piece, so very, very low in calories as well. So if you're looking for something that's chocolatey or caramely, these are actually pretty damn good. I prefer the chocolate one a little bit more because I feel like it's a little bit richer. The dulce de leche one does have a nice caramel flavor, but the caramel isn't as rich as like a full-on, you know, bad for you. Listen, I haven't been like on keto for so long that I forgot what caramel tastes like. I know what caramel tastes like, and this is kind of like halfway there. It's not as intense, but it's definitely just something nice for you guys to snack on. You can bring these to work and really just pick them at the grocery. They're easy. It's done. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I totally softballed you on the very, very first one because this next one is going to be a little bit more difficult to pick up. But I did cover them in a previous video, and yes, these are the No Foods cookies. Now, these aren't just specifically the No Foods cookies. I actually wanted to kind of use these as my example for internet foods. There are a lot of companies that are currently out there making keto bars, keto-friendly, what is it called? Ooh, the little mixy, the grainy ones. Oh my god, what is it called? Like granolas. There's keto-friendly granolas as well. So definitely be on the lookout for that on the internet. I even saw this like ghee chocolate pudding cup. And so this is kind of like my representation for all of the very internety new startup company foods that are doing things like these. No Foods just happens to be the one that I have tried out the most and have the most experience with. If you guys are curious as to what you should purchase from No Foods and what you shouldn't purchase from No Foods, because there's a couple duds there, I'm going to go ahead and leave a link in the cards so you can check out my previous video and see exactly what you should be picking up from there. But regardless, don't let your exploration stop there, because there are so many companies that are coming out right now that are making these low carb variations of foods. Maybe not necessarily high fat, but they are cutting the carbs in some of the things and kind of replacing their sweeteners. Just be very, very wary of what kinds of sweeteners that are in there. I always trust like stevia, erythritol, sucralose, even though it's not good for you, aspartame, even though it's not the best for you. But those ones, we've seen some, you know, glycemic index studies, and I'll actually go ahead and leave a video down there that kind of shows all of that from KetoGenic. They're absolutely amazing. But definitely keep your eye out on all of the cool new internet foods that are coming. So I feel like I'm gonna get in a little trouble with the keto police for this one. However, I figure if it fits within your macros and you are willing to practice a little bit of moderation when it comes to consumption, I totally think that Halo Top ice creams are okay. And I know I'm getting some cringe factors out there, but me personally, I looked up the macros and I'm like, I can handle this. So right here, I've got probably my favorite flavor. I actually picked up a backup pint when it went on sale because these things are a bit pricey. I'm like, they're like about $6 a pint. I'm like, what? But they do go on sale fairly often in my grocery store, so I'm like, yes. The other flavor that I have here is black cherry, and I also have a pint of the oatmeal cookie. All absolutely fantastic. Now, the thing that I do want to point out here real quick is that each of the servings that they kind of allot out there are a half cup. So for me, I actually use a scoop that is a quarter cup. So I just have one scoop, dole it out, and enjoy that one scoop. Now, what you need to pay attention to very, very closely is on the back of each one of these, be prepared to do a little bit of calculation because the net carbs are not the same for each and every flavor. So this one is about 8 net carbs with the candy bar, and I think this one might be 7 or 8, something along those lines. So they do vary from some to the other. Do your math and make sure that they fit into your macros. And then for me, I just cut the serving in half so that instead of 8 net carbs, I'm sitting and taking a look at 4. So that way, that feels a lot more comfortable to me rather than having something that is super, super crazy and kind of like having to figure out how much I've eaten myself. Now, if you don't have self-control, because some days it's hard to have self-control, you know, you're like, I'm gonna give myself a little bit of a bigger scoop or like a scoop and a half. If that's you, maybe you should go ahead and try out these things. These are actually the Enlightened Bars, and these, I believe, are all 6 grams of net carbs a piece. They are like normal standard sized bars. There's a peanut butter one. This one is the mint chip swirl. There's a salted caramel one that is actually very, very good as well. So definitely check those out. It is 2 more grams of net carbs than I really like, but if I've been doing my math and I'm keeping an eye out on what I've consumed, I think it's a nice little treat to reward yourself with. And the one thing that I always say about many of these diets is if you can't sustain yourself on that diet, you know what I mean? If you don't give yourself a little treat every now and then and say, I'm gonna get a 6 carb, you know, ice cream bar. Yeah, let's have that. If you can't do that, then it's gonna be really hard to stay on the diet. So these are all tools for you to be able to utilize so that way you can indulge yourself from time to time, but not break keto. This just came and attacked me. I see. Maybe I'll be consuming this one soon. Okay, so you know how I was talking about moderation and, you know, being able to control your portions and making sure that things fit into your macros? Well, the last 2 items that we are going to be taking a look at today are the things that destroy me. They're the things that I find it very difficult to control myself from eating. They are low carb, and, you know, if I really did want to consume large amounts of them, they would not be bad. However, it brings me into this ravenous, like, my mouth is watering, kind of like, I need this in my life. I've bought backups. I have. I'm just letting you know right now. And the first thing we're going to jump into when it comes to that is Lily's chocolate. And this one is specifically the salted almond milk chocolate. Yes, that is right. It is 40% chocolate. And each of these bars themselves are about 8 grams of carbs. A serving is half a bar, and it's 4 grams of carbs, which is kind of crazy because this actually, I opened it up. I want to control myself, but if you can see right here, it's actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So literally, each of these strips is about 0.66 carbs. So a part of me is like, all right, I can control myself and just break off like one row and just have that, and then I have to put it back into the cupboard and pretend that it doesn't exist, because legitimately I will continue to eat all of these. I could eat half a bar of these and only be at 4 carbs, but I need to stop myself at some point because it's so freaking delicious. The salt is something that I wasn't sure if I was gonna like or not. I know that salt makes certain flavors pop, but I'm a big fan of like just luscious milk chocolate. You know these dark chocolate loving people? I don't understand you dark chocolate loving people. It blows everybody, you know. It's like, oh, we make this with baker's chocolate and we just sweeten it a little bit with stevia. I'm like, no, devil. This is where it's at. Milk chocolate is definitely one of the things that I absolutely missed, but having these bars makes me feel like if I want it, I can have it. It's right there and I can enjoy it. I believe that there is another bar, and I'll toss it up on screen right here. It's called Choco Polo, and apparently everybody raves about how amazing that one is. However, my issue with it is you can only buy it by the case. I think like from Choco Polo directly you can buy 5 bars and it's like 25 bucks, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to commit to 5 bars. So if you guys have had any experience with it, please leave it in the comments below. Let me know if it's worth the 25 bucks for 5 bars or even more for a full 12. Toss that there because I need to know. I need my chocolate, my milk chocolate specifically. But for those of you dark chocolate fans out there, Lily's does make dark chocolate flavors as well. You're heathens, but they exist. So we have officially arrived at the item that legitimately made me want to work on this video. This is the item that got everything started, and I can smell it right now. And it's like coming up, and I'm like, oh, I must control myself and not have any. Yes, for the people who've seen me on stream, this is my favorite thing. This is the legendary almond butter, and it is in the pecan pie flavor. Now, everybody out there knows that pecan pie is my favorite pie of the bunch, and pie I hold above cakes. Just letting you know that. Pie greater than cakes, and this is definitely one of my favorites out there. Now the cool thing about it is it's 2 tablespoons, which is the standard measurement for most peanut butters out there. However, I do believe, let me do the math, it's 2 grams of carbs per serving. So that's 1 gram of carb per tablespoon. 1 gram of carb per tablespoon. That is actually lower than many of the other peanut butters out there. So you're not actually losing out on anything. You're just getting this like almondy, pecan-y pie flavoring. It's so freaking good. This is, I do have to say something. I had to stop myself mid-sentence, but I'm going to tell you how good this is. Let me actually show you how far I've gotten down on this. And this is just by taking spoonfuls. I am low on, this is getting low. I'm like loving this so much. But I am going to make a point. It is about $16 a jar. However, it is worth $16 a jar. I'm not even joking. If you like pecan pie, this is definitely something that you should try out. I will be buying 2 more jars of this, just letting you know where my money's going. Because it is very important, but it is that good, and it is worth every penny to me, at least. However, I understand you do have to order these from the internet. It's a little bit harder to get your hands on these kind of things, so we're doing a little bonus round because, you know, Rob likes to go above and beyond because, you know, in Asian families, if you don't get an A+, you still get hit. They're still looking at you like, you got an A? Was there extra credit? You should have done the extra credit. So we're doing extra credit right now. This is actually a jar of natural peanut butter that I got in the grocery store. And I believe that this one is also 2 grams of carbs as well. So this is also 2 grams of carbs. But if you're looking for a sweet treat, you can actually go ahead and add some stevia into your peanut butter. And as you can see right here, I have a very, very special one. It's actually English toffee. I'm not sure if it's going to focus, but it's English toffee. So if you want to go ahead and go above and beyond and kind of want to have some flavorings, I actually use this for my coffee as well. But you can use the English toffee, toss it into your peanut butter, and now you have a peanut butter that's a little bit sweeter because a lot of the natural peanut butters out there tend to be a little bit more on the bland side. Again, listen, I've been on keto. I haven't been on keto so long that I forgot what really sweet, like, ooh, just like honey roasted peanut butter with the honey in it. Oh my God, it's so good. But this gets it kind of sort of there. And I'm going to show you another thing. So like I said, this is the English toffee stevia. There's also other couple things that I've been playing around with. Now, these people have gotten a little bit of a reputation when it comes to their ingredients because they are very chemically, if we're going to be honest. But Walden Farms does make a very good caramel syrup, and they also make a very good chocolate syrup. Now this one is very cocoa-y. I actually have the sugar-free Hershey syrup, which is it leans a little bit more to the dark chocolate kind of side, and you guys know I'm not a big fan of the dark chocolate side. These are both sweetened with, I believe, sucralose, which, I mean, isn't necessarily the greatest for you. Is it sucralose? Let me just make 100% sure. Where are you, bibs? Where are you, bibs? Because, you know, I don't want to mislabel this. Why can't I actually find this? This doesn't even say if it's got, yes it does, it's sucralose, it's right there. So sucralose, not the greatest sweetener from you, but if you're looking for something sweet, gotta have it. And I haven't tried this experiment yet, but I'm very, very curious of seeing what would happen if I mix some peanut butter with some chocolate syrup, or if I mix some peanut butter with some caramel syrup. Because the thing about these syrups, they're fantastic. No, I'm not gonna say they're fantastic. They're good on their own, but they're better when you put them with other things. So I'm gonna say, hey, listen, if you are up for a little bit of an experiment, grab yourself a jar of peanut butter, and you can use either of these flavorings on them. Let me know how they turn out. But these are 0 carbs and 0 calories. This is like 0 everything. So I'm just saying, you know, it's like a little mix-in that you put in with your peanut butter to make it feel all fancy and delicious. Alrighty, so that about wraps up my countdown of ready-to-eat sweet treats. Well, there were a couple out there that you did need to pick up on the internet, like the legendary butters and the no foods. You can still always go into your local grocery store to get yourself some JellO, some of that amazing Lily's chocolates. I was able to find it in mine, and I live in like a little podunk area, and you can also get your hands on some of those ice creams. So if you ever need something to just satiate yourself in a world filled with carbs, those are definitely things that you can go to. Now, if you guys have any of your own suggestions, please leave them in the description box. Not the description box, that's my place. In the comment box below. Because you know what? We're a community here, and sometimes when it comes to dieting, it's always nice to have somebody there for you to help you out as well. So feel free to leave your feelings in the comments below. And as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.